Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a WrestleSlam special. We're here at No Limit Wrestling at the Knox Theatre, and I'm standing by with Steve Savage. There's kids in the audience, so we need to use our words wisely. Steve, you had a great match. How are you feeling right now, man?
Great, easy, man, easy. Loved it, love it, love it.
Yeah, of course, we're here at No Limit, and this has been around for a long time. You're no stranger to coming here as well. How does it feel going out in the middle of the ring and knowing that there's actually more people coming on board and seeing how great it is?
Yeah, no, it's great, man. They're sold out here in Kildare in the Naas Theatre, which is great. It's great to see. Like this is, I don't want to be throwing stuff a whole pile back to like post-pandemic and stuff and whatever, but that just seems so in the distance now, so far when you see shows full. Again, we see stuff like in Kildare with OTT in Dublin, with ourselves down in Limerick, we're seeing full crowds, full houses of people that want to watch pro wrestling. People that want this is at 2 or 3 o'clock in the day on a Sunday, and we've got a full house there. It's great. I love it. I mean, it's great for myself. It's great for the workers, for the boys, for the girls wrestling on the shows. And I mean, Irish professional wrestling is at such a high standard. I mean, everyone's in for like a serious treat every time they come to these shows, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned about the COVID, of course. Since afterwards, we noticed how the big rise in Irish wrestling, about how many wrestlers we got on board, how many fans are coming back into it. It's always been big, but we actually feel like every single day it's like building up. How do you feel being a part of this?
I love it. I soak up pro wrestling. I mean, when I work these shows and when I work shows ever, this is my full. I mean, I have a full-time job, but I treat this like my full-time job. You know what I mean? I give absolutely everything that I can give, and the same with everyone involved in this stuff. I mean, it's not just like everyone uses the term a wrestling scene. It's also a community. It's a massive wrestling community, and it's just growing and continues to grow. And you know what I mean? And just like I said, when we're seeing other companies filling out arenas and stadiums, especially, and different venues, it's just great. I mean, I love this. This is. I mean, I cannot express how much, like, anyone here wrestling this, none of us do this like out of just for the sake of doing it. We do this out of pure passion. Yeah. Pure passion.
Yeah. And it's good to know that you're doing it out of pure passion. When I mentioned about you being a part of it, you and another wrestling company by the name of Hardknox.
Yes.
How does it feel knowing that it's actually taken up? How many people are actually tuning in, coming into Hardknox? I mean, You're the founding father. How do you feel being a huge part of it?
I love it. Like Hardknox was always something that was going to happen. Like I mean, it was always a goal I've had in pro wrestling, was to always have pro wrestling, so that Limerick could have its own pro wrestling home, have a base in Limerick. Limerick has always been the host to wrestling companies, which has been great. I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've got with certain companies over the years, with Phoenix, OTT, even Wrestling.ie, and certain companies that have always passed through Limerick. But we've always been a host to wrestling shows. Limerick now has its own base promotion in Hardknox, which was always a goal of mine ever since I started getting into wrestling. And not just to run shows out of Limerick, but to have trainees in Limerick. So we have a base in Limerick for trainees. I'm massively proud of, like, the people that we have on board for Hardknox is always going to be to give guys that are deserving of an opportunity, to give them an opportunity. Because there's so many guys part of pro wrestling in Ireland now. There's so many avenues, and people need to get their foot in the door in certain places. You know what I mean? That's a big goal of mine for Hardknox, is to make sure there are spaces for people that are slugging away, that are grinding, that are training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that are in the gyms, that are in the training schools. They need a platform to perform on, and if Hardknox can host that platform, it's phenomenal. Like.
Yeah. And you said it yourself, but those who actually want to experience Hardknox, coming into the wrestling schools, coming to even the events, can you please tell everyone what are they going to expect?
Oh, you know what? Because wrestling is so broad, it's great that each different promotions are putting on different types of shows. You know what I mean? Like, there's a show here for. I mean, this is a great show for. I mean, we have over 18 crowds. We have kids that want to see wrestling, because at the end of the day, we've all started liking pro wrestling as kids. You know what I mean? When kids see this standard of a show, how can they not continue to be pro wrestling fans into their teens and into their adult years? When I first started watching wrestling, I'm assuming that I went to shows of a standard that wanted me to continue to watch wrestling and be a wrestler. It's Irish wrestling, and I mean, I'm going to just keep saying this, but I've worked in different countries and I'm not. I'm not putting any other places down. Like, I've worked in the likes of like the UK and across Europe and in America and stuff. The standard of wrestling in Ireland is absolutely phenomenal, you know. And now we have different guys coming into Ireland. People want to come to Ireland to wrestle. It's phenomenal. I mean, when wrestling is done right, it's done right, and this is pro wrestling done correct.
And that's the worst way to put it. This is pro wrestling done correctly, and everyone tune in. Steve, you're a gent. Thank you for coming on board.
Thanks so much.